Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, indeed, we are live here in the state that proudly states, that means says, live free or die. Not big government or bust. It is Thursday, January the 17th in the year of our Lord 2013. We're coming at you live. Hey, if you haven't had a chance yet to go ahead and get over there and like the Rod Eccles Show on Facebook, which is, facebook.com/the Rod Eccles Show, you should really do that because they're doing quite a bit of stuff about that, about what we talk about here and stuff that we don't cover goes over there. And I know some people are really starting to go over there and like it and everything. But and you can post stuff there as well. I mean, I let people do that. People often just, I guess they just like to read what I have to say, which is not a bad thing because what I have to say is often right. More or less, it is over 90%, 96% of the time, I'm right. I know, there are people that don't like that, but yeah, they're going to have to deal and live with it. I was not on the air yesterday. I know some of you are probably thinking, well, what happened to the show? No, I wasn't on the air yesterday because I was taking care of some business things. Yes, I told you, if you listen to the show, that I'm in the middle of doing some other business things as well, and that's been taking up a little bit more of my time, which was also the reason for the late starts Monday and Tuesday, but getting a little bit back into the swing of things here for 2 hours, because trust me, I've got plenty to talk about for the next 2 hours. You don't have to worry about that. I don't run out of stuff to say. That is for dang sure. And besides, the liberals won't let me. However, I do have to say something. I do have to say that I am more than a little concerned. And I'm a little concerned about the not only the direction our country is going, but at the pace at which it's getting there, with very little serious opposition. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that just love Obama for whatever reason. And I've already proven this time and time again that they don't care what he does. I mean, short of Obama holding a semi-automatic assault weapon against a child's brain and pulling the trigger. There is nothing that is going to get these people off of this guy. Off of loving him. There's nothing. I'm convinced that, look, we have told the truth about this guy I don't know how many times. We have pointed out his hypocrisy I don't know how many times. We have even done it with his own words without even trying to take him out of context. I mean, I know everybody can be taken out of context if you want to try to make a point, but we don't even have to try to do that. And you slap them in the face with this stuff. You show them what he's written. You let him hear what he said in his own voice, in his own words. And they still love him. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the water. Or maybe there's something in the air. It's not that I'm giving up. Because Lord knows I am not giving up. I will not give up on this country until the day I die. The moment I take my final breath, that's the time that I give up. Well, I won't have much of a choice then. And until then, I will keep telling the truth. But I am convinced that there is just a certain percentage of this population that no matter what you do or say, no matter what Obama does, they are always going to love him. Well, Obama's going to raise your taxes. Well, that's okay. I still love him. But wait, you were against the Republicans raising your tax. Oh, those evil Republicans. All they do is want to take my money. Okay, well, now Obama's doing it. Oh, that's okay. Obama's now trying to take away people's Second Amendment rights. Oh, that's great. But he voted against tougher measures and tougher laws back in 99 in response to Columbine. Well, that's okay. He knew what he was doing. But you didn't say that about the NRA when they were trying to prevent tougher measures, gun measures. Oh, the NRA is evil. They're mean people, mean-spirited. But Obama basically sided with them. Oh, that's okay. He knows what he's doing. If you were to take Obama's name out of there, out of anything that liberals hate that Obama has done, you take his name out. You put George Bush's name in there, or any conservative's name, and they will be frothing at the mouth. We've already seen it. We've already seen this happen. Well, Bush is a warmonger. Oh, Obama starts a war in Libya. Oh, that's okay. He's not a warmonger. Bush has a troop surge in Iraq. Bush and Cheney. It's Cheney. Cheney needs to go to jail. He needs to do a perp walk. Obama does basically the same thing in Afghanistan. Not a peep. I'm sorry, folks, but I'm convinced now that I'm not even sure Bill Clinton could have gotten away with all the stuff that Obama's gotten away with. And the only reason is because the man, he's not even an African American, because he's not. He's half African, half white American. So it's just, look, blacks only like him because he's black. White liberals only like him because he's black. That's why whenever, we could be against this. They could have the same policies that Barack can have the same policies that Bill Clinton had. Now, obviously, when we stood against Bill Clinton's liberal policies, it was just that we were mean and inconsiderate, evil right-wingers, extremists. That's what we were. We're just right-wing extremists who couldn't see that people were hurting and needed government help. We were just uncaring, evil, right-wing extremists. So Obama has the same policies, basically, and actually takes them a little bit further than Bill Clinton. And now But because we stand against those policies as well, just like we did against Bill Clinton, oh no, we're not right-wing extremists. We're right-wing racist. And it's all because Obama is black. Not by our standards on the conservative right, but by their standards on the liberal left. There is no other way to put this. Look, folks, we've got, folks, you know, we don't know our history. That's the problem. And when it comes to firearms, and yeah, there is a long tradition in history in this country with weaponry, firearms. I mean, it basically started, you know, from day one with the Mayflower. Verily so. I mean, they needed weapons back then, not only for food and getting sustenance. You know, they had to hunt, but it was also for protection. And it wasn't just protection against the natives. You know, as more people came to the New World, some of them came from different countries. Well, they all didn't get along back then, believe it or not. So that, you know, there were skirmishes between settlements sometimes that they were too close together, and they encroached on each other's farming and hunting lands. So it was for self-preservation, self-protection as well. Now our country grew using that with that idea and that ideal. Self-protection, self-sustenance. You know, everybody had to do everything for themselves. There wasn't much of there was no UPS service. There was no Western Union. If you got in trouble and you were in the New World, it would be months, if at all, before you got assistance and help. Even as the colonies grew and we ended up started getting some cities, you still had to take care of yourself. And if you moved out into the so-called suburbs, you know, again, you had to be able to take care of yourself and defend yourself, because it could be hours before the constable got there or the first responders back in the day. So we grew up with, as a nation, with this codependence on firearms, for one, for self-preservation, and two, for sustenance. And then that kind of morphed, even though we don't realize it today, but we have historical people in our past that have said this. You know, there are countries that looked at our Civil War, and they saw how bloody and deadly it was. You know, brother against brother. They saw it. And they were thinking, well, dang, that's because all these people have guns. And then you fast forward into World War II. Do people really? No, people really do not understand one of the main reasons why Yamamoto's armada did not continue onto the coast of California and invade California. The problem, or the view that they had, believe it, Yamamoto spoke about this back then. One of the main reasons they did not invade the United States mainland was because of the very fact that they knew a good portion of the average everyday citizenry was well armed. And Yamamoto said it would not only have we awakened a sleeping giant, but basically if we were to invade the mainland, and a lot of people said, well, they would have gotten to the Mississippi before we could have stopped them. That's not true. They wouldn't have gotten past California. Why? Because Yamamoto said it. And he said it reflecting the imperial leadership's view, not just the emperor, but the imperial leadership's view that the United States had two armies that they would have to fight on the United States homeland.